All right, if you have trouble attracting women, there's one thing you need to know right now, and it may be the most important thing that you hear today. What I'm about to share with you in this video is, in my opinion, the ultimate key to attracting women. So once you apply this simple concept into your dating life and into your attraction life, you'll instantly notice that more women are interested in you, and you'll naturally connect with women, build sexual chemistry, get more dates, and even boost your confidence and self-esteem all at the same time. I'm not kidding when I say that this single concept alone could change your dating life forever. So pay close attention, like take notes, I really want you to, and watch this till the very end, okay? Let's dive in. I am Marni, and from here on out, I'm gonna be your very own personal wing girl. Every week, I'm going to give you the no BS insider info about what women really want versus what they say they want, plus the most effective methods to win over any woman you like. Before I dive in, I want to be a bit vulnerable for a second. By the way, that was a little preview to what I'm about to share with you. I understand that as a man, taking care of your skin may not have been taught to you when you were younger, and that made it hard for you. And that's why I'm so excited to have Tiege Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. They help men start and maintain a skincare routine by making the entire process uncomplicated. I recommend you start with their level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, exfoliant scrub, an AM moisturizer with SPF, a PM moisturizer. My favorite part about Tiege Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that literally tells you how to use it, when to use it, how much product, what order, because that gets confusing sometimes. These products are amazing. You don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 5-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. It's pretty awesome. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tiege Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause or cancel at any time, you get free shipping if you're in the US, and because Tiege is a sponsor of today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. They like me, so they like you too. Just click the link in the description and get 30% off your first box plus a free gift. That's a freaking amazing deal. So click that link and get started today. I have a bug on me. Let's get started. So what is this thing that I'm calling the ultimate key to attracting women? This Shangri-La thing. Well, as I said before, it's quite simple. The ultimate key to attracting women, according to me, is vulnerability. I mentioned it before, right? Yes, vulnerability. Most people completely misunderstand this concept, and most guys think it's some wishy-washy self-help BS. But you'd be surprised how this simple concept can change your life with women forever, and I'm gonna show you how in just 1 minute. First, tell me if any of these apply to you. Do you find it hard to walk up to a beautiful woman and say hello? Do you find yourself constantly falling into boring conversations and conversation topics because they feel safe and don't risk offending anybody? Do you constantly fall into the friend zone? Do you find that women you like don't see you as a sexual option or get turned on by you? Do you find it hard to ask a girl out because of the possibility of rejection and embarrassment? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you need to understand one thing. The root of all of these problems is an inability to make yourself vulnerable. There's no tactic or trick in the world that's going to solve these problems for you, at least not permanently. The real fix involves making yourself vulnerable. All right, now the real question is, what does vulnerability actually mean? Because I know it's a very scary word for most guys. Well, it's easy to understand, even though most guys get it wrong. Vulnerability is the decision to not hide your feelings, wants, and desires from people, and instead speak up and verbalizing them. That's it. In other words, it means you just freely state your thoughts, feelings, wants, opinions, and so on, regardless of what someone thinks of you. It's being bold. It's basically a radically candid approach to communication. And this can be as simple as complimenting someone on how good they look, approaching an attractive stranger, saying hi, establishing clear and strong boundaries, or telling someone you're into them. and attracted to them. It can even mean telling a joke that may not be that funny, asserting an opinion that may offend others, admitting that you're not good at something, or telling someone that they're being rude or hurtful. Practicing vulnerability really is as simple as doing these things. It's just honesty. But while being more vulnerable is simple, it's not that easy. The main problem is most guys aren't taught to express themselves so freely and candidly. I mean, they've been shamed for doing that for so long. So for whatever reason, like maybe their home situation, some childhood drama with past experiences with girls, they develop a habit of bottling things up, hiding instead of sharing and expressing. On top of all that, we're all constantly fed ideals like do not do anything controversial, don't offend anyone, be nice, don't be unique, don't do anything crazy or stupid. When you keep hearing these ideas again and again, they develop into personal blueprints, rules, the way you live. And as a result, you begin to bury your real thoughts, your feelings, your desires, and opinions. Like, I get it. This happens a lot when you're younger and you have to filter everything. You become so cautious and you try to play it safe because you're too concerned with other people's perceptions of you or of being shamed by others. You don't want to ruffle any feathers. You don't want to risk being criticized or rejected. And that's when things go really bad because you get silenced, especially when it comes to dating. Because the truth is, connecting with others by being completely open and vulnerable, instead of trying to make everyone like you and cover things up, your true intentions, it's the only way to have the best interactions and attract the best partners as naturally as possible. And let me tell you why, because that's going to be a huge thing for you. There are 3 main reasons. Listen carefully to this. Reason number 1, vulnerability makes you non-needy. I've said this a million times before. Neediness is the ultimate killer for attraction, and nothing turns a woman off or anybody off like needy behavior. However, vulnerability is the exact opposite of neediness. Think of it like the antidote to neediness. Needy behavior comes when you put the girl on a pedestal and try to make her like you or think of you in a certain way, or don't really say something, but like kind of say it. This doesn't happen when you're being vulnerable, because by definition, when you're being vulnerable, you're simply expressing yourself regardless of what impression you might make. You're revealing your true self without apologies. I want you, right? You're saying to this girl, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. Like, this is who I am. Do you want it? That's the exact opposite of neediness. That, being vulnerable, is incredibly bold and confident. Women are drawn to that boldness like a moth to flames. In fact, when you come across as non-needy, you can attract women even when you say or do unattractive things, like unattractive things. For example, a needy man may come up with a cool pickup line, a really clever joke, and have a great job, but he will use them to impress her and get validation from her needy behaviors, and will therefore be perceived as unattractive. So it can be great, but it's not going to work. A non-needy man may talk about silly things and crack lame jokes, openly admit that he's between jobs, and get very excited about a passion for oil painting. But this man will be seen as attractive. Not that I'm knocking oil painting, because it's great. Because his behaviors will be genuine, authentic, and show that non-needy behavior. So I'm going to repeat myself again. Women are repelled by neediness, and are drawn to non-neediness. Ooh, let's have it. Vulnerability makes you non-needy, even though that's not what you're taught. It's true. Therefore, you become attractive to women. Reason number 2. Vulnerability removes insecurities. Insecurities cause a lot of problems when it comes to dating and relationships, as I'm sure you know. Most self-sabotaging behavior is a direct result of insecurities. Meaning, in most cases, when you screw up things with a woman, it's not because you're not good with women, it's because your insecurities are driving your behavior and screwing things up for you. Insecurities stem from a feeling of shame. I mean, there's other places too, but shame is an irrational belief that some part of you is bad or wrong. And that part of you makes you unworthy of love and affection. It's a terrible, terrible thing. Feelings of shame make you want to hide parts of yourself, and sometimes the best parts of yourself. The worst part is, the more you do that, the stronger your shame gets, and the more insecure you become about who you are. The only way out of this vicious cycle is through vulnerability, and research proves it. Science proves it. Researchers have found that opening yourself up and revealing your true self to other people, despite whatever insecurities you have, can force the insecurities out of your system. It's true. It reduces feelings of shame and builds self-esteem. And before you know it, you no longer feel insecure or as insecure, which means you're no longer indulging in any self-sabotaging behaviors that can mess up your dating life and your relationships, leading to a much smoother and healthier dating experience. See, full circle. By the way, if you're someone who struggles with insecurities around women and dating, you should have a look at my video on visualization, which I think is gold. In that video, I walk you through a simple mental exercise that will jumpstart the process of removing your insecurities and instantly boost your confidence with women. I've had so many guys triple their success rate with women by simply doing this visualization, which takes less than 10 minutes and can be done from anywhere. So I would check it out after you're done watching this video, and I'm gonna leave a link in the description box below. Back to our main topic, even though visualization is part of it. The third reason why you should practice vulnerability is because, reason number 3, vulnerability makes dating less complicated. So many guys complain to me that dating is too complicated these days, that you have to play all these games to attract women and that they're sick and tired of it. I'm sure you feel the same way. My reply is always the same. First, I'm sure you're sick and tired of it. I would be too. It sounds like it sucks. And secondly, you don't really have to play the games. You see, your approach to attracting women will determine the type of women that you attract and the type of games that get played. Even if they're great women, if you play games, the women you attract and the women you're talking to are gonna start playing games as well. If you decide to stop the games and be open and candid with women, the women will be open and candid with you. That's just how it works. Follow the leader. Openness breeds openness. Candor breeds candor. If you take the first step and be direct and upfront with a girl, she's gonna do the same with you. I know someone who used to tell girls the following before exchanging numbers after an interaction. He would say this. He would say, listen, only give me your number if you intend to reply. You don't have to do this to be nice. It's completely okay. That's freaking bold. One of two things would happen when he would say this. Either the girl would laugh, give him the number, and tell him that she does intend to reply, in which case he knows 90% of the time, for sure, that she's interested and worth pursuing. Or she'd smile awkwardly and say, all right then, if it was nice meeting you, and walk away. Like he gave her an out by being vulnerable and honest, and she wouldn't give the number. In this case, he just saved himself from wasting time on a girl who wasn't interested. He didn't have to go and search on pickup forums what to text a girl so that she replies immediately. He didn't have to play games or use any manipulative tactics. All he did was make himself vulnerable and ask something honest. He was extremely candid, nothing else. This approach also helped him avoid any sort of flaking. He barely had any experience with women flaking on him, which is so rare nowadays. And he never got trapped in the friend zone or stuck on a girl who kept giving him wishy-washy mixed signals. And that's because he was upfront about his intentions with women from the get-go. Vulnerable. If he liked a girl, he'd let her know. If the girl liked him back, they'd go out. She'd let him know. If she didn't or was unsure or gave him mixed signals, he'd move on to the next person. This radically candid approach to dating simplified the whole thing for him. You'll experience the same thing when you also try this approach, because you're going to try it after watching this video, right? What's more, there's another huge upside of being vulnerable, something most guys will never appreciate, and hopefully you will. Vulnerability builds sexual tension. You see, vulnerability doesn't only help you connect with women and build healthy relationships, it can also help you turn women on. In fact, it can even get a woman so turned on that she practically begs you to take her home. Trust me, this is true. Research shows that women are aroused by displays of sexual desire, which means if you're talking to a girl and things are going great and you're really turned on by her, you could say to her, "You're so sexy. You have no idea what I want to do to you right now." That's vulnerability, right? Because you're making your feelings known, and that will turn her on. Why? Well, firstly, because it's extremely freaking bold and so sexy. Boldness is sexy. Secondly, because it gets her thinking about sex with you. It plants the idea in her head, it builds anticipation, and lastly, because it shows how comfortable you are expressing your wants and your sexuality, and that gives her permission to do exactly the same. Openness creates openness, right? Which means now she can be more sexual with you and things can heat up more. And you'll see this happen quite often in erotic or romantic literature, which is basically porn for women. Right before the main guy and the girl have sex, the guy will always be super bold. He'll look her in the eyes and tell her exactly what he wants and how he feels about her and what he's gonna do to her, right? Vulnerability. The girl will get super turned on. He's gonna make the move and start doing what he said he's gonna do, and then they'll be all over each other. Like, that is erotic literature. It's a cliche in the romance genre. It's very hot. Women love to read this stuff and play out the scene in their heads over and over and over again. It's a massive turn on for us. So if you can do that in real life, be that bold and be that direct, it's gonna pay off in more ways than one. The only challenge when it comes to vulnerability is that it's nerve-wracking. It's hard to be vulnerable, you know? Being vulnerable is really uncomfortable if you're not used to it, because you risk rejection and hurt. That means you've got to act with courage. You have to be brave, right? And you have to be willing to accept the consequences no matter what, that it may not work out in your favor. And that is the key to vulnerability. And that's why people don't do it very often. You have to realize that whatever happens, you'll be fine. If things don't work out, you might hurt for a while, but you'll be okay. You will be okay no matter what. That's the truth. Once you develop that understanding, you're gonna find it easier to be vulnerable. And once you're vulnerable and you see the results from it, you'll do it more. In fact, I have a little exercise to get you started with vulnerability. And it's an exercise which involves saying 2 simple words to the women you talk to, okay? Just 2 simple words. And not only do those 2 words help you in attracting women, but it's the best first step to mastering the skill of vulnerability. So I have a short video which reveals what these 2 words are and how this works, how this exercise works, and I'm gonna put that in the description below, okay? I highly recommend you check it out after this because I think it's awesome. And as I've said multiple times in this video, vulnerability is the ultimate key to attracting women. Nothing will improve your dating life more than this simple concept. We've already discussed everything that it does. Like you should be sold on it. It makes you non-needy and therefore very attractive to women. And it destroys your insecurities. It makes dating far less complicated and it helps build sexual tension. Moreover, because it's challenging, most men shy away from it. And I totally get that, but I want to change that, which means it gives you an easy way to stand out. Trust me, a man who's willing to be vulnerable is like a breath of fresh air for women. Most attractive women constantly meet guys who suck up to them, or who try to lie and manipulate their way into sleeping with them or being with them or not really expressing themselves to them. So meeting a guy who's completely open and candid, who doesn't try to earn their validation and approval, is like winning a prize, and you will be treated like a prize. Trust me. In my flagship program, The Insider, I go even deeper on how to be treated like a prize and be chased after by attractive women who are eager to date you. That program is packed with simple strategies, get off your butt exercises, which I call them, that will inject traits and habits of a high quality man into your system in 30 days or less. So I want you to give it a try if you're not satisfied with your current dating situation and want to make a real change fast. The link to the program is in the description below. Thousands of guys like you have already tried this program and they love it. And because they took action on what they discovered inside the program, they are now able to attract and date beautiful women of their choice. And so can you if you do follow the simple strategies and exercises outlined in this program and in this video. There's no fluff, there's no BS, just practical stuff that will help you download the habits and behaviors of a highly attractive man into yourself in 30 days or less, okay? So the link is in the description below. If you decide to give it a try, your dating life will never be the same again. That is a guarantee. But either way, thank you so much for watching this video till the very end. Very vulnerable of you. I hope you found it useful. And as always, I will see you again next week.